What's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes, it's just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. Join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, you are the reason this channel is anything. I appreciate you more than words can say. All right, let's get this episode rolling. So look, fam, this is the first in a 3-part series on my guide, 2A in LA's guide to buying a 2011. For those who watch the channel, you guys know that I own, north of 13 2011s from a wide variety of manufacturers. And so I have a unique, I'm in a position to have a unique opinion about which 2011s are better than others and what you can expect from certain 2011s. So the series is going to be divided into 3 separate levels. Entry level 2011s, mid-level 2011s, and high-end 2011s. Okay? These are going to be primarily broken down into dollar amounts from kind of $1,500 to $3,000. That's kind of entry level for a 2011. And then kind of your mid-level is going to be kind of $3,500 to $5,500. And then your kind of high-end 2011 is going to be kind of anything above $6,000 or higher. And so or in that certain range. So today we're talking about entry-level 2011s. And what's crazy about this is a few years back when people talked about 2011s or double-stack 1911s, there was Staccato, there was Infinity, and not much else, y'all. Not much else, but my have times changed. It seems like, I think right now, I did the math, there's something like over 20 companies producing 2011s and growing. And what's even crazier is a lot of these companies, like the Atlas Gun Works of the world, like the Terran Tactical Innovations of the world, like the Infinities of the world, like the Staccatos of the world, many of these gun companies have multiple offerings in the 2011 space. So there may be 20 manufacturers who are producing 2011s, but in terms of actual firearms, there are probably about 30 or 40 different options out there for you now, which sounds crazy to me. But that's where we are. So today we're going to be talking about entry-level 2011s. Now I have a few, but in that entry-level category, 3 to be exact, and maybe I'll end up picking up another 1 or 2 before the year is over. But let's kind of talk through the entry level. Like I said, it's kind of I'm saying from a $1,500 price point to about a $3,000 price point. Now, there are a couple of 2011s that are coming out that are sub $1,500. So I think Rock Island Armory has one that's closer to $1,000. I think there are a couple of more that are maybe just above $1,000. Here's the thing about 2011s, and what makes 2011s special is not just that you have, first of all, 3 factors have to be there. You have to have a standalone grip module, a frame, and the slide. So there's 3 pieces to a 2011. That's what differentiates a 2011 from a Glock, which is also a double stack 9mm, right? And so having these 3 different components is one part of it. The other part of it, the reason why 2011s are 2011s is because of the quality of the construction, and that many of these guns are custom fit and have machined parts. If you're going to put things on a mass production line and put them with a lot of NIM parts, then in my opinion they're kind of 2011s in name only, and they are missing the soul of what a 2011 is. And so when I'm looking at the entry point, that's why I stepped it up. I ignored kind of the low end. Other people can talk to you about those firearms. I'm kind of talking about like that $1,400 to $1,600 range to about a $3,000 range. And in that range, there are a lot of players that could and should be considered. First of all, the Springfield Prodigy came out. Staccato had this tier cornered, and they still do. They owned this entry level point for years and years, and then the Prodigy dropped, and people said, oh, I can get a 2011 for $1,000 cheaper than a Staccato CS or a Staccato P or a Staccato C2. Sign me up, right? Now the thing about the Prodigy is that it is a production gun. It is not custom fit. They use a lot of MIM parts in the gun, and I'm not belittling the Springfield Prodigy. I think it's a good value for what you get. And so let me show you my Springfield Prodigy. Like I said, it's a good value for what you get, but I feel like what was missing in the Prodigy was that custom fitment that you really want from a 2011. So I took my standard stock Springfield Prodigy, which looked just like this. I'll show it up there to you. And I transformed it into this right here. Fam, stop playing with your boy. Obviously, we have upgraded the aesthetics on this threefold. This gun is drop dead sexy, but we've done a lot more than that. So in partnership with DSC Gunworks, we went in and we dememmed the gun. We took out almost all the MIM parts and replaced them with machine parts from EGW, which makes very high quality parts. Then we tri-topped the barrel and we ported the barrel. You can see that right there. We also upgraded the grip module. I took off the old kind of sandpaper finish grip module and put on this Masterpiece Arms grip module. And Madwell, we upgraded the trigger from kind of the stock trigger that was in the Prodigy, which was an okay trigger, for real. It was an okay trigger, but it's not a red dirt trigger. And you can see this right here. That's your take-up. Your take-up is non-existent. Crisp, clean break. Look to reset. Yeah, fam. So now it cost a pretty penny to do everything that you see here. Probably about the same amount as the cost of the gun. But as you see it here, this is no longer an entry-level gun. This gun is now ready to compete with a lot of guns that are on that mid-tier at a price that's at the very low end of the mid-tier. Remember, I kind of told you that entry-level is kind of $1,500 to $3,000, and then mid-level is kind of $3,000, $3,500 to like $5,500. So for about $3,000, you can have a Prodigy that looks like this, and that will definitely compete with a lot of those mid-tier firearms. So the Prodigy is something that you should be thinking about. Just above the Prodigy are the Bull Armory guns, the SAS2 series, and I'll put up some pictures there so you guys can check those out. Bull Armory makes a good firearms. You'll see that their guns run kind of $1,700 to like $2,300. I think Bull Armory is kind of a step above the Prodigy, what the Prodigy is out of the box. They're a step above that, but still a step below a Staccato. And so if you are considering a Staccato, and here I can show you, I have a couple. Now this is my Staccato C2. This gun was redone by Monsoon Tactical, and you can see they put that Genghis comp on there and did the Cerakote work. Other than that, the gun is stock, although that comp is a significant game changer in terms of how the gun shoots. And then also you'll see here I have my Staccato P redone by Vulcan Machine Works, and they just killed it. So Vulcan ported the barrel. I'll show that to you on the top. They added a badge to the barrel. They stippled the grip, and obviously they Cerakoted the gun. And yeah, again, the porting of the gun makes a huge difference in how the gun shoots. It allows the gun to shoot a lot softer, consequently keeps it a lot flatter, allowing you to shoot it a lot faster. And so taking away though all the third-party work that was done on these two guns, the Staccato C2 and the Staccato P out of the box run about $2,500. Fit and finish is outstanding. Staccato has been doing this as long, if not longer, than any other of the 2011 manufacturers, and they've got it down to a science. And while it's a production gun, it has a very custom fit feel by the way Staccato puts it together. And so out of the box, to me, they're certainly one of the best 2011s. If I was looking to consider an entry-level 2011, I would probably start and maybe stop with Staccato. Now, there are other gun companies out there though. Oracle Arms makes a 2011. Their guns, depending on how you construct it, kind of range from like $1,800 to $2,300. So there's something you could definitely consider. Cossaint Arms also makes one. Now, depending on how you set theirs up, theirs can be entry level at kind of like that $2,200, $2,300 price point, and then if you want to get it ported and other things and have all the extra bells and whistles, then that's probably going to take you up to like a mid-tier $4,000, $4,500 gun. But if you wanted to kind of break in with Cossaint Arms, they do have entry level option for you. One of the new players in the game is Jacob Gray. Jacob Gray is interesting to me because they make, and nobody else is offering this in this entry level, they make an all metal frame gun. So Jacob Gray is new to the marketplace. I haven't had an opportunity to shoot that gun yet, and so I can't really speak to it, but there have been some reviews so far. For the most part, they've been positive. I'm going to try to get my hands on one of those sometime this year. But that's kind of it. That's kind of the lower tier. So you're looking at guns, like I said, you can find a Prodigy for maybe $1,400, sometimes even a little less, to like $1,700. At $1,700 to $2,200, that's where you'll see the Bull Armory guns, the Oracle Arms guns, the Cossaint Arms guns, kind of in that price in that kind of low $2,000, low to mid $2,000 range. And then, of course, you got the Staccato CS, the Staccato C2, and the Staccato P are all right around that $2,500 mark for the optic ready versions of their guns. Which one should you pick? I don't know. That is up to you. What I would say is, of the ones that I've named out of the box, I think Staccato has the best offering. And if you're the kind of person who is not going to send your gun off to get worked on by a Vulcan, by a Monsoon Tactical, by a Skips Guns, by a DSC Gunworks, you just want the best out of the box, then I would consider, even though it's probably the highest of the price points, I would consider doing either Staccato C2, CS, or P, depending on what size gun you want, for around $2,500 or so. Or I would pick up a Springfield Prodigy and put, you know, 1,000 into it, 1,500 into it to get it to here. And now I think you have a better gun than a Staccato out of the box. But that's how I see it at the entry level. More entry level players are coming in. I just warn you that when you see these people, oh, I got a $900 2011. Is it really? So I'll just be careful. Like, part of the reason you want a 2011 is not just to say, I have a 2011. You want it to shoot like a 2011. So I'd say, like, the Prodigy is kind of the baseline for that. And you can do, the good thing about the Prodigy is, for the price, you've got a lot of room, because where you can buy a Prodigy to where Staccato is, there's a lot of things that can be done to that Prodigy to make it very special, including getting it ported, changing out the grip module, upgrading the trigger, and changing out the internals. That'll probably run you about $1,000 or so. So you could be sitting, if you get the Prodigy for $1,300, for $2,300, you could be sitting on a gun that is very, very special. Now, as you guys have seen, I've ported and upgraded my Staccato P and my C2. So let's take away the aesthetic. Let's take away the Cerakote. The porting of these guns and the stippling to improve the grip, you know, that's probably going to run you another $500, $600. So to get your P and your C2 and your CS to where mine are now, instead of $2,500, it's more like $3,000, $3,200, and now you're kind of knocking on the door of those mid-level guns. And how does these two stack up to those mid-level guns? So food for thought. Food for thought. So this is part one of our series. I apologize, it went a little bit long, but I wanted to give you guys as much information as possible. All right? That's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another, and peace.